What would you do if you had everything you ever dreamed of, yet felt something was still missing? Sometimes the answer lies not in more success or possessions, but in stepping outside of your comfort zone. Today we'll dive into the story of Adam, a self-made millionaire who seemingly had it all: wealth, power, and recognition. But beneath his carefully curated life lay a longing for something more profound. One day, he decided to leave behind his glamorous lifestyle and disguise himself as an ordinary taxi driver. What started as a simple experiment to reconnect with life's simpler pleasures turned into a transformative journey, leading him to find love in the most unexpected way. This story resonates with anyone who has ever felt trapped by their circumstances or questioned the true meaning of happiness. Whether you struggle to find balance in your life or yearn for a genuine connection, Adam's journey will inspire you to explore what truly matters. Let's embark on this incredible tale of self-discovery, where the roads Adam drives lead not only to passengers, but to a revelation that changes his life forever. Meet Adam, a self-made millionaire who rose from humble beginnings to build an empire. By his mid-30s, he had accumulated everything society considers a symbol of success: a sprawling mansion, high-end cars, and an enviable lifestyle filled with luxury vacations and elite parties. To the outside world, Adam was the picture of achievement. But beneath the polished exterior, Adam felt a growing emptiness. His relationships were superficial, built on transactions rather than trust. The friends in his circle were more interested in his money than his personality, and Adam began to wonder if anyone truly cared about him as a person. Each day, he woke up feeling more isolated, despite the wealth surrounding him. One evening, as he looked out from his penthouse balcony, Adam watched the bustling streets below. The sight of ordinary people living seemingly simpler, more connected lives intrigued him. What did it feel like to step into their world? Could he find the authenticity and connection he craved? Driven by a desire to escape the weight of his status, Adam came up with an audacious plan. He would trade his tailored suits for a taxi driver's uniform. It wasn't about the money. He had more than enough of that. This was about rediscovering the essence of life by immersing himself in the world of everyday people. At first, the idea seemed ridiculous, even to him, but the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. Adam wanted to see the world through a different lens, one where his identity as a millionaire wouldn't cloud his interactions. So, with a mixture of nervous excitement and determination, Adam purchased a second-hand cab and prepared for his journey into the unknown. The bustling streets of the city would serve as both his disguise and his stage. From behind the wheel of his modest taxi, Adam hoped to blend in and observe life from a perspective he had long forgotten. Little did he know, this experiment would lead him to discover not only a new side of himself, but a connection he never thought possible. Adam's first day as a taxi driver was nothing short of a chaotic adventure. He had purchased an old, slightly battered yellow cab from a used car dealership on the outskirts of the city. Gone were his luxury sports cars with automated features. Now he was behind the wheel of a vehicle that vibrated at every stoplight and sputtered on inclines. His first passenger was a young woman running late for a job interview. She hurriedly gave him directions, barely glancing at him, and spent the ride nervously rehearsing her answers aloud. Adam chuckled to himself. It was a refreshing departure from the shallow small talk he was used to at upscale events. When she stepped out, she left a simple thank you behind. Though small, the gesture stayed with him for the rest of the day. As the hours rolled on, Adam began to learn the unspoken rules of the city streets. He navigated traffic jams, dodged impatient drivers, and mastered the art of squeezing into impossibly small parking spots. Yet the true challenge lay not in the driving itself, but in the interactions with his passengers. Some were polite and friendly, like the elderly man who spoke fondly of his grandchildren, or the student who excitedly shared his dreams of becoming an architect. Others were less pleasant, impatient passengers who snapped at him for taking what they deemed the long way, or slammed the door in frustration. At times, Adam found himself questioning his decision. Was this really worth it? Was he truly learning anything? Or was he simply subjecting himself to unnecessary stress? But as the days turned into weeks, Adam began to notice subtle changes within himself. Through countless conversations with strangers, he started to see life from perspectives he had never considered. The single mother juggling two jobs to provide for her kids, the immigrant navigating a new country while chasing a dream, the retired teacher reflecting on a lifetime of service. Each passenger shared a small piece of their story, leaving an indelible mark on Adam's heart. Adam also began to notice the kindness of strangers. The barista who handed him a free cup of coffee when she noticed his tired eyes, the pedestrian who smiled and waved at him while crossing the street, the child who excitedly waved from the back seat. All these small moments of humanity reminded him of the beauty in everyday life. He learned to appreciate the resilience of those who worked tirelessly to make ends meet and the strength it took to persevere despite life's challenges. For the first time in years, Adam felt connected, not to his wealth or status, but to the shared human experience. The turning point came during a particularly long night shift. Adam picked up a passenger, a soft-spoken woman named Emma. She seemed hesitant at first, but as the ride progressed, she began to open up. Emma was a nurse who had just finished a grueling double shift at the hospital. Her voice carried a mixture of exhaustion and pride as she spoke about her work. "I've seen people at their lowest," Emma said, staring out the window. "And yet, even in the darkest moments, there's always hope. People surprise you with their strength, their will to fight." Her words resonated deeply with Adam. He realized that Emma and people like her represented a strength and authenticity that he had long yearned for in his own life. As Emma stepped out of the cab and waved goodbye, Adam couldn't shake the feeling that this ride was different. It wasn't just about the conversation. It was about the connection. Emma's words lingered in his mind, challenging him to reflect on his own life and what truly mattered. One quiet evening, as the city lights glimmered against the darkening sky, Adam's shift was nearing its end. He considered calling it a night when a passenger hailed him down. She was carrying a stack of books, her hair slightly windswept, and wore a simple yet charming smile. "Good evening," she greeted warmly as she slid into the back seat. "Can you take me to Maple Lane Elementary?" Her voice was soft but carried a certain confidence that immediately intrigued Adam. Her name, as he soon learned, was Lily. She was a schoolteacher finishing up preparations for her students' upcoming science fair. As the cab rolled through the city streets, their conversation flowed effortlessly. "I love teaching," Lily shared. "It's not always easy, but the kids make it worth it. They remind me that even the smallest effort can spark something amazing in someone else's life." Adam found himself captivated by her passion and optimism. Despite her modest circumstances, Lily exuded a strength and joy that he hadn't encountered in anyone else. Her laugh was infectious, and her stories about her students were filled with a warmth that left Adam smiling long after the ride ended. Over the next few weeks, fate, or perhaps something more, kept bringing Lily back into Adam's cab. Each encounter left him more enamored. Lily's authenticity and resilience stood in stark contrast to the superficial relationships Adam had grown accustomed to in his previous life. For the first time in years, Adam felt a connection that wasn't tied to his wealth, status, or success. It was a feeling he couldn't quite put into words, something genuine, raw, and unfiltered. But along with that growing connection came an equally growing fear. Adam wrestled with his secret. Should he tell Lily the truth about who he was? Would she see him as the man he had shown her, the one who listened to her stories, laughed at her jokes, and admired her strength? Or would she only see him as a millionaire playing a game? The weight of his dual identity began to take a toll on him. On one hand, Adam wanted to keep the ruse going, to prolong this rare and precious connection. On the other hand, he knew that any foundation built on a lie was doomed to crumble. The breaking point came one rainy evening when Adam picked up Lily after her school science fair. She was soaked from head to toe, having stayed behind to help clean up after the event. As she settled into the cab, she sighed deeply, but smiled. "Life isn't always glamorous, is it?" she joked, wringing water from her scarf. Adam laughed along, but felt a pang of guilt. He was living a double life, pretending to understand her struggles, while secretly enjoying the privileges of his wealth. As they drove, Lily spoke about her dreams of traveling the world someday, of showing her students that there was more to life than what they saw in their small neighborhood. Her words struck a chord with Adam. "You're lucky," Lily said, her voice tinged with a hint of wistfulness. You get to drive all over the city, meet so many different people, and see life from so many perspectives. Adam clenched the steering wheel, unsure how to respond. Here was someone who found joy in the simplest things, while he had spent years taking everything for granted. That night, after dropping Lily off, Adam sat alone in his cab, rain drumming against the windshield. He knew he couldn't keep up the charade much longer. If he truly cared for Lily, and he knew in his heart that he did, he had to be honest with her. But the thought terrified him. What if Lily saw his wealth as a betrayal of her trust? What if she walked away, leaving him to face the emptiness he had tried so hard to escape? Adam realized that his biggest challenge wasn't revealing his true identity to Lily. It was confronting his own fears. He had spent so long hiding behind his wealth, using it as a shield against vulnerability. Now he had to strip that away and show Lily, and himself, who he really was. He resolved to tell her the truth no matter the outcome. He wanted something real, something built on trust and authenticity. And if that meant risking his heart, so be it. The next morning, Adam woke with a mix of determination and anxiety. He had made up his mind. He would reveal his true identity to Lily. It was a risk, but one he was willing to take for the sake of something genuine. That evening, he picked Lily up from her usual spot. She was carrying a bouquet of flowers her students had given her as a thank you for organizing the science fair. "These are beautiful," Adam said, glancing at the vibrant colors in his rearview mirror. "They're not expensive," Lily replied with a soft smile, "but they mean the world to me because of who they're from." Her words struck Adam deeply. He realized that Lily valued sincerity far more than material worth. It gave him the courage to start the conversation he had been dreading. "Lily," Adam began, his voice slightly trembling, "there's something I need to tell you." She tilted her head curiously, sensing the weight of his words. "I haven't been entirely honest with you," he admitted. "I'm not just a taxi driver. My name is Adam Hartman, and I'm a millionaire." Lily froze for a moment, her expression unreadable. "You're joking, right?" Adam shook his head. "No, I'm not. I've spent the last few months driving this cab because I wanted to understand a world beyond my wealth. And in doing so, I found you." For a long moment, the cab was silent except for the hum of the engine. Finally, Lily spoke, her tone tinged with disbelief and hurt. "So, this was all a game to you? Pretending to be someone you're not?" "No," Adam said quickly. "It was never a game. I didn't know how to approach you as myself. I was afraid you'd see me as nothing more than my bank account, like so many others have." Lily's eyes narrowed. "And you thought lying to me was the better option." She asked to be dropped off early, cutting their ride short. Adam's heart sank as he watched her walk away, the bouquet still clutched in her hand. He knew he had hurt her, and it was up to him to make things right. The next few days were some of the hardest of Adam's life. He reached out to Lily, leaving voicemails and messages apologizing for his dishonesty. But Lily needed time to process everything. Meanwhile, Adam began to reflect on his actions. He realized that his fear of rejection had led him to make decisions that undermined the very connection he wanted to build. If he truly wanted Lily to trust him, he would have to prove his sincerity through actions, not just words. One afternoon, Adam showed up at the elementary school where Lily worked. He waited patiently until she emerged, her expression guarded when she saw him. "I'm not here to ask for forgiveness," Adam said, holding a folder in his hands. "I just want to show you something." Curious despite herself, Lily opened the folder. Inside were papers detailing a new scholarship program Adam had established in her name, aimed at providing underprivileged students with resources for their education. "It's not to impress you," Adam explained. "It's to show you that I've been listening. Your passion for teaching, for making a difference, it inspired me. This is something real, something meaningful. And it's because of you." Lily's expression softened, but she still hesitated. "You can't just fix this with grand gestures, Adam. Trust is built over time." "I know," Adam said earnestly, "and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to rebuild that trust, no matter how long it takes." Over the following weeks, Adam didn't try to overwhelm Lily with extravagance. Instead, he focused on simple, genuine acts of kindness. He helped her organize classroom supplies, attended her students' events, and engaged with her world in a way that proved he valued her for who she was. Gradually, Lily began to see the man behind the wealth. Adam wasn't just a millionaire. He was a man who cared deeply, who was willing to learn from his mistakes, and who wanted to build something real with her. Their conversations became deeper, their connection stronger. Lily realized that while Adam's initial deception had hurt her, his subsequent actions showed his true character. One evening, as they walked through a local park, Lily turned to Adam and smiled. I think I might be ready to forgive you. But don't think for a second that I'll let you off the hook so easily. Adam laughed, relief washing over him. Fair enough. I'm just grateful for a second chance. In the weeks and months that followed, Adam and Lily began to rebuild their relationship, this time with complete honesty. They spent countless evenings sharing stories about their lives, Adam talking about his struggles with shallow relationships, and Lily opening up about the challenges of being a teacher in an underfunded school. What started as an unusual friendship evolved into a deep and meaningful partnership. Adam made sure to integrate Lily into his world, not with flashy displays of wealth, but by introducing her to the causes and projects he was passionate about. Meanwhile, Lily brought Adam into her world, showing him the joy of simplicity and the beauty of community. One memorable day, they worked together to renovate Lily's classroom. Adam used his resources to fund new supplies, while Lily helped him understand the impact it would have on her students. It wasn't about money. It was about purpose. Their shared experiences brought them closer, building a foundation that no amount of wealth could replicate. For Adam, the most defining moment came when he stood at a charity gala he had organized, surrounded by people who had come together to support the scholarship program he had launched in Lily's name. As he looked at Lily, who was speaking passionately about the power of education, Adam realized he had finally found the kind of connection he had been searching for all along. One that was rooted in mutual respect, shared values, and genuine love. Adam's journey was more than a love story. It was a story of self-discovery. He learned that true wealth isn't measured by the size of a bank account, but by the quality of the relationships we nurture. Through Lily, Adam saw that love doesn't thrive on extravagance. It thrives on honesty, vulnerability, and shared experiences. His decision to step away from his luxurious lifestyle and embrace the challenges of ordinary life wasn't just an experiment. It was a transformative experience that showed him what truly matters. For Lily, the experience reminded her of the importance of looking beyond appearances. Adam's wealth had initially been a point of contention, but his actions had proven his sincerity. She realized that while money can open doors, it's the person behind the wealth who defines the relationship. Adam and Lily's story is a reminder that love and connection often appear in the most unexpected places. It challenges us to reflect on our own lives. Are we chasing superficial goals? Or are we investing in what truly matters? So, what about you? If you stripped away the distractions of status and material possessions, what would remain? Are you building relationships that enrich your soul, or are you settling for something less? Remember, it's never too late to take a detour, to step out of your comfort zone, and to discover what truly makes life meaningful. Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Adam's decision to trade his tailored suits for a taxi driver's uniform led him to a love story that defied all odds. His journey is a testament to the idea that fulfillment doesn't come from what we own, but from the connections we make and the lives we impact. As you navigate your own journey, take a moment to reflect on what truly matters. Like Adam, you might find that the greatest treasures aren't the ones you've been chasing. They're the ones waiting for you in the most unexpected places.